Hello, Metals One. I hope you're all doing well. I was just going to show you how I'm going to be printing these rings with the first round of your ring files. So I'm really excited about that. So here's our 3D printer. We're using a castable wax resin. And the first thing I need to do is take out a cartridge of castable wax. It comes out of this spot at the bottom, but I actually need to shake it up so that the wax doesn't get kind of like stuck in place or kind of like sedentary or anything like that. So I'm just gonna give it a couple good shakes. I'm sure this is really exciting to watch. I hope you feel just like you're in class watching my awkward demos. A few more shakes. This is really exciting to see. All right, that ought to be good. Just put that cartridge back in the printer and open the valve there. Next up, I'm gonna open up the printer right here. This is the build plate, and that's actually going to lower down into this resin at the bottom here, and your rings will actually be built on here, so they'll be kind of upside down once they're done. But again, just to sort of mix up the resin and make sure that it's not kind of like separating or solidifying at all, I'm just gonna use this squeegee and mix this up a little bit. Again, very exciting stuff. All right, so I'll just lock that back into place and close up my printer. And now I am ready to begin printing or uploading the rings to the printer. So here I've got Preform open on my computer. I'm adjusting the settings, so this is going to print the highest resolution possible. So you can see that this box that pops up, that's our printer. And then here are all the rings that I'm going to be printing in round one. So you can see those purple spots right now. The rings are highlighted in blue, but the purple is supports that Preform automatically generates in order to support and print the rings. And here I'm just gonna get this ready, so I'll select print to upload this to the 3D printer. And here we go. So rings round one, they're loaded up, and it's just going to prompt me to check to see that the cartridge vent is open and the build platform looks okay. It does, so I'm just gonna hit confirm. And here we can see that the printer is gearing up to print. Now also on the monitor down here, you can see that even though it's ready to print, the resin tank is filling up, and then it actually has to heat up to about 35 degrees Celsius before it's ready to print, and that can take a few minutes. And here I had wanted to get kind of a hyperlapse video of this slowly printing. So this first round of rings is taking about 7 hours to print, but I forgot how slowly that this goes, that even with speeding this up really quickly, you didn't really get to see the whole process. But here are the rings 7 hours later. So I'm just disconnecting the build platform there, and I'll slide it out. And then you can see here are those rings. And of course you can see the supports up close in person. Maybe you can spot your ring, maybe not. They're all kind of rotated in awkward shapes just because Preform automatically sets them up to yield the best print possible. So that's why some of them might be upside down or on their side or sort of turned 3/4 at awkward angles. And then finally, I'm just using this little spatula to scrape the rings off, and they're going into an isopropyl alcohol bath right now. So that will help to make the resin cure, because you can probably just see from the video how kind of wet and gooey these look. So that's going to help the resin cure and solidify. So I'll just put those in the bath. Usually it just takes a few minutes, but I'll just let them sit in there until they cure, and then they can dry off. And then finally, the last thing that I want to do is just clean off my build platform right there. Oh, so you can see right now too, I'm also dunking those rings in the alcohol just to move them around a little bit. Make sure that they're all evenly spaced apart. And scrape off any large chunks of that resin. And then whatever residue is left over, I'm just going to use that isopropyl alcohol on a paper towel to clean it off of the build platform. And once that's done, I can put it back right in the printer. So it's been a few minutes, and these rings look good. I'm just checking them, and I'm going to sit them aside on some brown paper towels to dry off just to make sure they're cured. And if there are any spots that seem kind of gummy or uncured, that kind of like wet look still, once it's dry, I'll just put them back in the alcohol. And so you can see this is actually after I did about 2 or 3 rounds of printing. So maybe you can spot your ring right here. So now the next step after this in the next video is going to be the sprueing and investing process. Very exciting, so I will see you then.